without dropping my phone in the water. Come here, Fuji. Come here, mijo. My girl can't do this. She will get bit. He bites really hard. And yeah. He's hilarious. Plays this game. He likes me to rub his stomach. He comes back around and bumps his head against me. He uses that head for everything. And that's why he gets his head scratched up. He doesn't do major damage. It's just he scrapes the skin off of it because his head is so large. But that's what he uses to feel stuff with. Every feeding he bumps his head, but he's healed from the last time already. It took him 3 days to heal. He comes and sneaks up behind me. He's never bit me. When he was a baby, he bit me, but he doesn't do that now. He's big, thank goodness, because he's got a lot of teeth, as you can see right there. And he bumps his nose against me. He bumps his mouth against me. Sometimes he nips at me, but it's not a bite. It's just to see what it is. That's how they feel. See, he tries to sneak up behind you. And he's really cool because I had him since he was a baby. He allows me to be in his territory. See, if he wanted to bite you there, he could bite you so easily. He likes to play. Come here, mijo. Yeah, he's a good fish. It's hard to film and concentrate on him. At least from here, I don't think he sees the camera. He might. The fish are very aware about what's on top of them, you know, over their head. It's instinctual. They're really smart. He knows. Where's he at? Early on, when he was already big, he likes to test your trust in him. So he'll come up and he'll try to punk you and act like he's going to bite you, but he doesn't. He wants to see if you move your hand. If you move your hand, then he won't have any trust for you. See how he comes from behind me? He comes from behind because he likes to see if you're scared of him or not. You can't show him fear. If you do, he's going to bite you anyway. So you can see his teeth. He's nowhere near like my dove eyes, but he does have some serrated teeth, and they really can do some nasty. Doesn't feel good anyway. Even my pop can't put his hand in here because he will get bit. And when I do this to the next guy is, yeah, he's real powerful too. Cat and mouse. Okay, let's go check out this brother. One-handed is so hard. Okay, this is Anti. And you know why Anti got his name. Him, you gotta learn how to read him a little bit better. Same thing, cat, mouse. I adopted this fish. He was already 6 months old, and he was in a cubicle. He was in a maybe 8x8 cubicle. 8x8 cubicle, and he was already a good 5 inches. So it was pretty sad. And when I went to see him, he wasn't the most beautiful fish, and it wasn't so much the price that I was adopting him for. The guy who raises him, he's a real nice person, and but he just he couldn't sell this guy because his hump wasn't really that large. But it didn't matter to me, because when I came near his thing and I put my hand in, he nailed me with his fin, with the top fin, those spikes, and he stabbed me pretty deep. I was bleeding everywhere, and he actually jumped out of his tank and landed on the concrete floor. And I took him. I had to take him. Come here, mijo. Yeah, this guy, you gotta learn how to read his intentions, because he will. Come here, mijo. Like right here, if this was my girl or my pop, they're gonna get bit, like big time. And he likes me. I rub his belly. I don't do it as often as I normally, if I had more time. But look, he'll just fall asleep in my hand. I just rub in his belly. It's hard to video, but you can see him staying real still. Yeah, it's just because you love your fish, you know. They know who love them. And it sounds real silly because it's a fish, but they know. And this guy will not hesitate to bite you. And he's big. He's pushing. It's hard to tell because my hand is much higher than him right here. But he's pushing 10, 11 inches, so he is a big fish. And actually his brother here, Fuji, General, he's going on probably 9, 10 inches. He's really grown tremendously in the last 6 months. Last 3 months, should I say. See, his mouth is big. And such a cool fish. If I did this every single day, I do it once a week maybe with him, but if I do it every single day, he'd be. I had a flowerhorn passed maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. His name was escamoso. It's a Spanish word for like show off. Like and he was a special fish. That guy, when I entered the room, these guys are similar, but he would bang the lids. He was incredible, man. If I didn't, and he was 12 inches long. He was a big flowerhorn, and I had him since baby. Same thing. Vicious as a baby, but then he grew up in the same thing. He was so much personality. It was incredible. I didn't need a net. The same with these guys. If something happens, which I don't ever have them sick, but like if I ever have to medicate these guys, or if I have to put ointment on there, if something happens to them, they really hurt themselves, I don't need a net to pull these guys out. Honestly, do not. I just need a bucket next to my tank on the aquarium, because my aquarium is very tall, and I can pull them out by hand and just put them in the bucket. I don't need to stress them with a net. They completely trust me. And just 10 minutes of letting them know who I am, and they're pretty cool with me, just taking them out of the tank. They're really cool fish. That's what thing about flowerhorns, are really cool. Dovai, I was putting my hand in my tank with my dovais up until they were about 6 inches. And they used to bite me as a baby. The dovai hit me hard, man. They hit hard. And I think now at about 10 inches, the dovai now, their canines are growing in pretty good. Not full grown, of course, but they can definitely pack a punch. And they're more predatory fish. They're a little bit more predatory than these guys. These guys are just nuts, crazy, aggressive, but dovai are a little more difficult to tame. And now my dovai are to the point now where if I'm in the tank, they don't bother me. Some are really, but I got them so used to me, you know. Cause you see, he came after my finger. You got to learn how to read him, because he will nail you if you give him a chance. He thinks it's food. You want to play, mijo? Yeah, he likes to play cat and mouse. He likes to play cat and mouse. It's a game he plays. He wants to see if you trust him. He's never, though, full grown, he hasn't taken a shot at me. When he was smaller, of course. And this takes a lot of trust to be able to do this to you. A lot of trust. Well, guys, hope you liked it.